Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Rufus Sewell is a British actor known for his intense screen presence, sharp intelligence, and remarkable versatility across film, television, and stage. Born on October 29, 1967, in Twickenham, London, he was raised primarily by his mother, a Welsh artist and waitress, after his father, a journalist and animator, passed away when Rufus was just 10 years old. His upbringing, marked by creativity and resilience, shaped his thoughtful and introspective nature, qualities that later defined his acting style. Sewell trained at the Central School of Speech and Drama in London, where his raw talent quickly drew attention. He emerged in the early 1990s as one of Britain's most compelling young actors, often playing brooding or aristocratic figures. His breakout role came with Middlemarch, 1994, the acclaimed BBC adaptation of George Eliot's novel, where his portrayal of the idealistic Will Ladislaw made him a household name in the UK. In film, Sewell built an international reputation with roles in Carrington, 1995, Cold Comfort Farm, 1995, and The Woodlanders, 1997. But it was his turn as the enigmatic John Murdoch in the neo-noir cult classic Dark City, 1998, that showcased his depth and range to global audiences. Hollywood often cast him as villains, most notably in A Knight's Tale, 2001, The Legend of Zorro, 2005, and The Illusionist, 2006, where his piercing gaze and refined diction made him a perfect embodiment of controlled menace and intelligence. Despite Hollywood's tendency to typecast him, Sewell consistently returned to the stage, where his classical training flourished. He won the Olivier Award for Best Actor for his performance in Tom Stoppard's Rock and Roll, 2007, and earned critical acclaim for his roles in Arcadia and Old Times. On stage, Sewell's voice and physicality convey both vulnerability and authority, making him one of Britain's most respected theatre actors. In television, Sewell's career entered a new phase with a string of complex and powerful roles. He delivered a masterful performance as Lord Melbourne in ITV's Victoria, 2016-2017, infusing the role with charm and melancholy. He then portrayed the chilling Nazi official John Smith in Amazon's The Man in the High Castle, 2015-2019. A role that allowed him to explore moral ambiguity and power with stunning subtlety. His recent work includes Old, 2021, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and The Diplomat, 2023, where he plays Hal Weiler, the charismatic and calculating husband of Kerry Russell's U.S. ambassador, a performance widely praised for its wit and emotional precision. Throughout his career, Rufus Sewell has stood out for his ability to convey intelligence, sensuality, and inner conflict, often making his characters as sympathetic as they are dangerous. Off-screen, he is known for his privacy, quiet humor, and thoughtful views on art and fame. Today, Rufus Sewell remains one of Britain's most distinctive and enduring actors, an artist whose performances bridge intellect and emotion, classical craft and modern complexity. His work continues to captivate audiences who are drawn to his layered portrayals of men caught between duty, desire, and the shadows of their own conscience. Rufus Sewell's career is a study in artistic integrity and emotional precision. Though he has often been admired for his brooding good looks and commanding presence, Sewell has spent much of his career resisting the easy allure of celebrity. Instead, he has focused on substance, searching for roles that challenge perceptions and allow him to explore the subtleties of human behavior. After gaining attention in Middlemarch, Sewell was quickly cast in a series of high-profile British films during the 1990s. In Dangerous Beauty, 1998, he played Marco Venier opposite Catherine McCormack, exuding both passion and melancholy as a man torn between love and social expectation. His versatility became clearer in the psychological thriller Dark City, where he embodied a man struggling to understand both his identity and the fabricated world around him. The film, directed by Alex Proyas, later achieved cult status and is still considered one of Sewell's most fascinating performances, blending existential mystery with science fiction noir. The early 2000s marked Sewell's transition into more global recognition. In A Knight's Tale, 2001, he played Count Adhemar, the haughty noble rival to Heath Ledger's heroic peasant knight. While it was a villainous part, Sewell's performance gave Adhemar complexity, pride mixed with a subtle sadness of being bound by class and expectation. Similarly, in The Illusionist, 2006, he portrayed Crown Prince Leopold, whose arrogance and insecurity drive the plot's tension. These roles solidified Sewell's reputation as one of cinema's most elegant antagonists, an actor who could bring humanity to even the darkest characters. Despite Hollywood's attempts to confine him to typecast roles, Sewell always sought refuge in theater and more character-driven television projects. His performance in Tom Stoppard's Rock and Roll not only earned him the Olivier Award but also proved that he was far more than a period drama star. He was a deeply intellectual performer who could embody the spirit of rebellion, philosophy, and longing. In television, Sewell's later years brought a wave of prestige and recognition. The Man in the High Castle presented him as John Smith, a high-ranking Nazi officer in an alternate history America under Axis rule. What could have been a one-note villain became, in Sewell's hands, a tragic figure, a man warped by ideology but haunted by his own humanity. His performance earned him critical acclaim and introduced him to a new generation of viewers. His portrayal of Lord Melbourne in Victoria revealed another side of Sewell, a man of charm, gentleness, and sorrow. Playing opposite Jenna Coleman's young Queen Victoria, he made the aging Prime Minister both mentor and romantic figure, evoking deep emotion without sentimentality. In The Diplomat, his Hal Weiler is witty, flawed, manipulative, and magnetic, an embodiment of Sewell's talent for complexity and contradiction. Away from the screen, Rufus Sewell has led a relatively quiet personal life. He has been married twice and has 2 children, but he rarely discusses his private affairs publicly. Known for his intelligence and self-deprecating humor, he often reflects on the challenges of typecasting and fame, once remarking that he was too brooding for the boy next door roles and too human for the villain roles. Sewell's acting philosophy is grounded in empathy and authenticity. He has said that he strives to understand, not judge, his characters, even the darkest ones. This approach gives his performances a moral depth and psychological realism that set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Over the years, Rufus Sewell has remained a symbol of the thinking actor, one who chooses depth over glamour, truth over showmanship. Whether on stage under Stoppard's words or on screen as a prince, soldier, or politician, Sewell's art continues to be defined by one thing: the quiet fire of a man who acts not to be seen, but to reveal. Rufus Sewell's career trajectory reflects not just his exceptional range, but his lifelong devotion to craft over celebrity. While he is widely recognized for his film and television work, the stage remains central to his identity as an actor. The theater is where he honed his precision, emotional intelligence, and voice, qualities that lend a rare depth to all his screen performances. After graduating from the Central School of Speech and Drama in 1989, Sewell was quickly embraced by London's theatre community. His early performances at the Royal National Theatre and the Donmar Warehouse established him as one of Britain's most promising young actors. In Arcadia, 1993, Tom Stoppard's intricate masterpiece, Sewell played Septimus Hodge, the witty and morally complex tutor. His sharp timing, intellectual presence, and sensual charisma made him unforgettable, earning praise from critics who saw in him a natural heir to Laurence Olivier's stage gravitas combined with the modern edge of actors like Daniel Day-Lewis. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Sewell continued to balance his screen roles with rigorous theatrical work. In Harold Pinter's Old Times and Brian Friel's translations, he displayed remarkable control of language and emotional nuance. His portrayal of Jan in Stoppard's Rock and Roll, 2006-2007, a Czech intellectual swept up in the tides of history, became one of his defining stage performances. For it, he received both the Olivier Award and the London Critics' Circle Theatre Award, affirming his reputation as one of the most serious and sophisticated actors of his generation. Sewell has often spoken about the difference between acting for stage and screen. On stage, he says, the audience's energy keeps him alive in the moment, while film allows him to explore the interior life of a character in greater subtlety. This dual mastery, the projection of theater and the introspection of cinema, gives his performances a unique balance of power and restraint. His collaborations with visionary directors have also shaped his artistry. Working with filmmakers such as Alex Proyas, Dark City, Edward Zwick, Legend of Zorro, and M. Night Shyamalan, Old, allowed Sewell to explore moral ambiguity in a variety of genres, from dystopian sci-fi to historical drama. On television, he has thrived under complex writing, bringing dimension to morally gray men like John Smith in The Man in the High Castle and Hal Weiler in The Diplomat. What sets Rufus Sewell apart is his refusal to play archetypes. He brings layers to every character: intellect, sensuality, irony, and vulnerability. Even when playing villains, he reveals their humanity, showing how pride, fear, or longing drive their cruelty. As a result, audiences rarely see his characters as evil, but as tragically flawed human beings. In interviews, Sewell has often reflected on his uneasy relationship with fame. Early in his career, he was labeled a brooding romantic lead, but he resisted becoming a conventional star. "I don't want to be famous for being famous," he once said. "I want to do good work." This philosophy has guided him throughout a career defined by longevity and integrity. Off-camera, Sewell is known for his intelligence, quiet humor, and love of music and literature. He has been candid about the struggles actors face in sustaining meaningful work, particularly when they refuse to compromise their artistic standards. Yet, despite ups and downs, he has built a career admired for its consistency and courage. In recent years, Rufus Sewell has reached a kind of late-career renaissance. With The Diplomat, he introduced himself to a new global audience, younger viewers discovering him not as a villain, but as a magnetic, complex leading man. His portrayal of Hal Weiler, charming, exasperating, brilliant, captures everything that defines Sewell as an actor: intelligence, wit, sadness, and truth. As of today, Sewell continues to work between film, television, and stage, choosing projects that resonate with his artistic sensibilities rather than commercial appeal. His filmography stands as a testament to an actor who refuses to be defined by one role or one genre, a craftsman who has quietly, consistently elevated every production he's touched.